All right, cool. So if I think I did this correctly, you guys there?
I am here.
All right, there you guys go. And for you guys that don't know, the guys that are just tuning in, this is Rich Telford and Junior Brown from Team Excessive. Man, I really appreciate you guys hopping on the radio today.
We appreciate you being here.
Cool.
By the way, I'm the one that doesn't sound like I'm English.
Okay.
I'm the English one, so you'll be good.
So Kitty said the number one rule here is don't call Junior a northern monkey under any circumstances.
Yeah, there you go. She's avoiding the show tonight, isn't she? She's come up with some excuse just so she can't be around.
Yeah.
So,
So cool. I want to talk really quick about the first time that I actually ever met Excessive, 2005. And I know that, Rich, you go to so many tournaments and so many practices and stuff like that, but I don't know if you remember, this was actually the first time we met. You came over to Tampa, Florida, and you scrimmaged Joy Division over at a little field called Cone Sports.
yeah, I remember that well.
Yeah, so that was actually the first time I ever met you guys. So I was there earlier in the day setting up the staging area and everything to make sure you guys had a good practice.
Yeah, that was really nice, man. The field was great. All the people there were super sweet. Super nice. It was great.
Yeah, and probably one of my favorite videos, actually probably one of the first ones I ever edited, was the scrimmage between you guys. And I put it up there to like some rock star music and stuff like that. It came out really badass.
Cool.
But that was the first time I ever met you guys, and that was 2005, and I'd like to say that I contributed a small amount into your win of the 2005 NPPL.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
So I was like, you know what? I filled their tanks at practice. You know that.
There you go.
So, but yeah, that was the first time I ever met you guys, and I was just shocked at how hard you guys, even in practice, how hard you guys ran. You guys got there at like 5:30. Luckily, the sun went down later that day, and you just played until there was no sunlight anymore.
Yeah, that's the way we grind out, man. That's probably the thing we're the most famous for is just working really hard,
Yeah.
Joy Division, they did a good job, too. Those guys are troopers for sure.
Yeah.
Flying all the way from to Sweden.
Yep. And the something else I'd like to talk about, too, was at the time you had released a little bit of an apparel line, and probably one of the best pants that I ever owned was a pair of the Excessive pants that were made up with Clutch Technologies. Was that who was making those for you?
Yeah, no, actually, we made them. Clutch Technologies kind of came out afterwards.
Okay.
But yeah, Modesto, that's where I'm from, and that's where, back in the Ironman days, we practiced, Excessive practiced, and the ground is very much like concrete,
Right.
kind of brown concrete.
Right.
So we figured if we can make a pair of pants that would last in Modesto, then they'd last everywhere else.
Yeah.
And it's great. I still see so many people running around with those pants. It's great.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I sold mine for like $50 more than I paid for them, and I'd probably pay $50 more than I sold them for to have them back. Because that
Great investment.
those pants, and for the people that don't understand, paintball pants for the longest time were just windbreakers with a paintball name on it.
Yeah.
And when the Excessive pants came out in 2005, that was the first time that pants had come out with like real true knee protection, real true groin protection. Other than that, it was just basically a pair of jogging pants with, a logo on it, and I absolutely loved mine. I tore mine apart for like 2 years, and it was still one of the best paintball pants that I ever owned.
Well, I appreciate that. We were really proud of them. We worked really hard. We got some prototypes done, and then we made a run of them, and they sold really well. We were really happy with them. Unfortunately, after that, we split from Excess Energy Drink, and the guys from there kept making the pants.
Right.
Knocks them off, made them in like Pakistan or something really cheap, and they were just terrible.
Yeah.
The first 3,000 units were just perfection.
Yeah. I remember, and you had them on display at the 2005, but they weren't. I think those were just the prototypes, and everyone was just going nuts. So, like, I know Rich, he said I could have a pair. I remember, like, the guy that was working the booth was like having to fend everybody off with a cattle prod, And something else that you have, and I'm not sure how involved you are in it, but as a tall player, this is another accessory that you folks had come out with was the Excessive ASAs. One of my all-time favorite ASAs, me being 6'4", is just how it extends the bottle out a little bit, and I use it on all my pump guns and a lot of my guns that, I need a little bit more bottle reach, but the Excessive ASA is just awesome.
Yeah, same thing with me being 6'2", 6'3". I just can't get the guns close enough, so that it gets it farther away from me, so it fits better.
Yeah.
Like a rifle.
So, and obviously, 2005 was a trying year for you guys, going into 2006. And I mean, I've got just the utmost respect for you and your team, just for, that you guys just continue to grind it out in that division, every single year, Division I, professional, semi-professional, you guys are bouncing around and stuff like that. And, I played last year for the first time, I played the full PSP circuit. Was the first time I've ever done that. And I can't imagine doing it at your level. I honestly cannot imagine doing it at your level.
It's tough, man. I mean, it definitely takes a lot out of you. I definitely right now, if I hadn't been doing it for as long as I have, if someone came up to me and said, "Hey, this is what we're going to do next season," there's no fucking way. I just tell them, there's no way. You couldn't pay me enough to do what we do.
Right.
But I think just because we've been doing it for so long, we don't know any other way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's, I played the full PSP for the first time in my entire life, and I've always had, the utmost respect for professional teams and professional players and stuff like that, but doing it firsthand last year and experiencing it, I mean, I didn't practice anywhere as hard as Excessive does, and I just don't think a lot of players that aspire to go pro understand what the grind is, and how, the financial toll, the time away from your family, the amount of money that it costs to get to these events and stuff like that. I mean, if you could, I always like to have a little reality check for people that want to play professional paintball. And everybody thinks that, that you guys fly in private jets and that everything's paid for. You guys are picked up with limousines at the airport, and, your guns are polished and they're all waiting for you when you guys show up to the field. I mean, obviously.
I can tell you, I talked to my gun tech yesterday, who's, a close friend with the team and with me personally and with our stores and field here. And we paid for everything for him last season. We paid for his air flights, his gas, everything, and it still cost him about $4,000 to gun tech for us.
Yeah. And trying to find good sponsors. Obviously, you guys have got some great sponsors. If you could talk a little bit about some of the companies that are behind Excessive right now. Obviously, Planet Eclipse is a big one. You guys have been with them for years. Understood, John at Understood Paintball, also Excessive Paintball. Who are some of the other companies that you folks have that are behind Excessive?
Junior, you want to handle that?
Yeah, no problem. Well, obviously, for the last 2 years, Ninja Paintball has been a big supporter of Excessive. They've come on board real well for us last year, and they've come on even harder for this year. So, without them, they've been real good. Going into 2010, we are now going to swap over and go with Animal Paintball to be doing our jerseys again. Which helps a lot. People don't realize that a good jersey sponsor is great, and it's not just great for the team; it's great for the players. We can provide Thomas with his jerseys he needs to keep his fans happy, and other pro players like that. So it's good that we can do that, and that's down to them.
Very cool. Like I said, I mean, the sponsor, I mean, and there's not a lot of teams that have been with Planet Eclipse since like the first original Ego came out. I mean, when did you actually start shooting Planet Eclipse markers? Was it around 2004? I mean, it was pretty much when they first launched. I mean, I don't think I remember Excessive being with any other gun company off the top of my head.
No, we've never been with any other gun company. I mean,
yeah.
We knew about the Excessive, the Eclipse markers probably 6 or 7 months before anyone even had an idea that they were coming out with a marker. They treat us really, really well. It's been a great relationship.
Great, yeah, and they still, still to this day, Planet Eclipse, obviously now with the new E-Tech 3, their packaging is unbelievable, even at their inexpensive markers and stuff like that. Planet Eclipse is just awesome, Yeah,
and, in the kind of changing environment that we live in, there's two kinds of companies out there now. I mean, there's companies that are run by paintball guys, like, let's say, Dye and Eclipse, and then there's other companies that aren't run by paintball players anymore. Eclipse and Dye, they're good guys. Bottom line, love them or hate them, they're paintball guys at heart, and that means a lot to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people call it a sport. I mean, I've always kind of referred to it as more of a cult.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with even with TechPB. I mean, I've had people that have offered to design me state of the art websites, but I'm like, have you ever played paintball? Nope. It's been a pleasure talking to you. So and with that being said, I mean, what and this year coming into 2010, what events is Excessive going to be focusing on?
We're definitely still going to focus. We're going to focus on both series. As you know, the MPPL is really important to us, and so is the PSP. Going into this year, our plan is definitely to stay semi-pro for PSP and assess again after the first two events. So if you see us doing well, we'll make the step up halfway through the year, back up into pro. If not, then we'll definitely do it in 2011. So both series is really important to us, and we think they do a good job.
Very cool. Now talk about some of the newer players that you folks have picked up for this year. You know, obviously everybody obviously knows Thomas Taylor. He just recently had a baby, right?
Well, actually, his wife had the baby.
Wife, well, yeah.
A little confusion there because Thomas did try to give birth, but it didn't work out too well for him. It was actually Tiffany, and they had a great little baby boy named Keith, and they're very, very happy.
Very cool. Yeah, you might have to find another snake player because if he starts putting on daddy weight like I did, you know.
Yeah, he's there.
He's already there. Please don't tell him we said that, but yeah, he's already there.
It's like, you know, they don't need, they're not finishing up that baby food, some of that dessert and their little oatmeal. Like, yeah, I'll polish that off.
It's given me a hard time for years. Like, Rich, you got to work out more. You got to get in the gym more. And I was like, honestly, I think it's easier for you because you don't have a job, you don't have a wife and kids. That's all you do is work out. I mean, like, I'm doing the best I can.
Right.
It's funny now that he's got the kid. I don't see him at the gym quite as much.
Yes, it's just a little bit more fun to sit at home and eat the ginger snap cookies and the shortbreads and the Teddy Grahams and the Nilla wafers, man. That's just daddy food, you know.
Yeah.
So, but who some of the other players that you folks have picked up? Who can we expect to see on the excessive roster for 2010?
Well, I just actually started submitting. We announced today that we picked up a new player, which is Chris Wilson from the Naughty Dogs.
Oh, okay.
We feel that Chris has been around for a long time playing pro with teams like Bob Long with Oakland Blast and Naughty Dogs for a while, and he's really aggressive. I watched him a lot at World Cup, and we practiced them actually just before World Cup, the few days before when we got there, and he's just what I think that the team needs right now, which is somebody who's really hungry, really aggressive, and is going to go out there and do a job, and that's a really good pickup. So we announced that today. That went out today, which I'm excited about. And then after that, you've got. I'm really happy that we've been bringing some kids in now for the last 2 or 3 years, and that's why you have to take a step back. Sometimes you take a step back to take 2 steps forward, and I feel that going into this year, that's where we are. We've done our stepping back, and now we're going to start doing our stepping forward, and we've been able to keep these core kids around, and that's always the hard thing. They come with a good intention, but like we were saying earlier, and like you said in your show before we came on, like, it takes a lot to do what we do, and these kids, they don't realize it, and they come in and they grind and they do it for 6 months and then they get burnt out. It's like unbelievable how these 19-year-old kids are just getting burnt out, and you've got Rich and people that's been doing it for a lot longer than they have, and they're still doing it, and now, so we've gone through a lot of those kids in the last couple of years, but we've actually kept quite a few around for the start of 2010, and a bit of them is surprised, but I'm definitely really happy about that. So you've got people like Conrad. He's been with us now for a few years, so Conrad's still going to be coming out strong. Pat, which is Pat Slattery, Matt Robinson. These kids are really, a couple of years under the belt now with Rich, and you can see them coming on every weekend. I just see them improving, and that's going to be a key for the success of Excessive going into 2011, 12. That's where we've got to look, because it's not, we're seeing all these teams fall apart right now with finances and the players, so it's good to see that we can still survive and bring these kids through, because that's what it comes down to, is surviving and getting kids back in to keep these are the up and coming pro players. We're all getting old, so I'm happy that kids are around.
Yeah. And it's, and obviously, with the Philadelphia Americans, with the financial trouble that Smart Parts went through, they announced that their team is pretty much dissolving, which is terrible. And I mean, it's I always, and I extend this out there to you guys as well, to Excessive as well as just any professional team. If there's anything that we can do to help, any gear that you guys need to sell, any sort of any sort of new promotional merchandise that you folks are coming out with or anything like that, get it to us ASAP so we can help you guys promote it, because it's so important to support the pro teams and so important to support the pro players. And it's, you guys do something that not a lot of people can do. You definitely are doing something that not a lot of people can do.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's definitely sad to see teams like Philly Americans with the smart part situation, and who else? For me, I look at, you have two types of pro teams as well. You have a pro team that's got a wealthy owner. So you look at Philly Americans, Ironman, Russian Legion. That's one type of pro team, and that's great. Every sport has wealthy owners, and that's what professional sports is about as well. But that's why I like paintball so much, because we have another type of owner, which is the core guys that just try and keep the team alive, from sponsorship, from doing deals with these other smaller companies to help the smaller company grow, which in turn will help the team grow. So it was sad for me to see a team like the Hurricanes, who Jeff, I don't class him as a really wealthy owner. He does what we do.
Right.
Try and get all these little sponsors to help build to be one big unit, so you can go out and compete in two leagues.
Right.
And that's what's dying. And it's going to be really sad if all that disappears. I was just thinking about it today. There's not many teams left like that. Dynasties still run like that, where they get the sponsorship and it gets allocated and pushed through, and there's not one big wealthy owner.
Right.
And then you've got Excessive, and I can't really think of any other pro teams that's run like that anymore.
Right.
And I look at Excessive, and even before I joined Excessive, it was this. I had respect for them because the guys was going out and doing it themselves. They didn't just have a guy, and I've seen teams. I've been around teams where you could just call the owner up and be like, "Hey, I need a couple of grand." Okay, I'll write you a check and send it over. It don't do that. And if Excessive can survive, and these other teams can still survive doing that, then it shows that these other Divisional 2, Divisional 1, Div 3 teams that are building up, that one day want to be that pro team, that there's a chance for them to do it.
Yeah.
Because if all this disappears, if Excessive disappear, like the Hurricanes did, and these other teams that are, like Naughty Dogs don't have a rich owner, if they disappear, Bushwhackers recently, towards the end of last year disappeared, they didn't have a wealthy owner.
Right.
The more teams like that disappear, what have these kids got to look up to? They'll be just thinking, well, my team will never make it, but I'll just have to try and do well and get on another one of these other teams. Instead it's nice to think, we can do this as a team. We can get good, we can get sponsors, and we can become pro as a team, instead of, well, we'll get as good as we can get, and then the pro teams will pick from us.
Yeah. Yeah, and you guys, obviously you've got a great site with excessivegear.com, which we're running a good promotion. The banner's getting tons of clicks. People are picking up the merchandise, from John, and we've got some shirts that we're going to be giving away. And if you guys got a couple more minutes, I know I told you I'd let you guys off the hook at about 9 o'clock. You guys want to answer a couple questions really quick?
No, yeah, we'll definitely do that for you, Mike.
All right, cool. I got a call coming in here. Let's see if I do this. If I disconnect you guys on accident, I'll call you guys right back. So let me see if we can get this. Oh, missed that one. So you guys still there?
Yeah, we're still here.
Okay, cool. We'll see if we get this one.
I thought you'd hung up on me too, Rich. How's that one?
Hey, what's up? You're on the radio with Rich and Junior from Excessive. You there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yo, hey, what's up, dude? How you doing?
Pretty good.
Cool. So you're on the phone. You got any questions for Rich or Junior Brown from Excessive?
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about buying the E-Tech 3 and stuff. I mean, is that a good gun to run in like a 5-man tourney?
Yes. I think that the E-Tech 3 is a fantastic gun. I shot one last week, and I could not believe how good it was.
Yeah.
For the price, I was like, shit, I'll shoot this all day long. And it's a real good gun.
Yeah, and I actually have one. I actually just picked up the LT, so I'll be doing an unboxing video. It's actually, it's in there in the box, so I'll be doing an unboxing video. I'm kind of curious to see if people like lock up the chat room, they start typing in excessive rocks. Maybe I'll crack it open right now on the show, but it ain't gonna happen until people lock up the chat room. So you guys start typing in excessive fucking rules, excessive rocks. You guys start doing that in the chat room, and it gets locked up. Then I'll unbox it right here on the show. Other than that, you guys can wait. So cool. Hey man, I appreciate the phone call.
All right, man.
All right, take it easy.
Thanks, man.
Take it easy.
That's my DOA.
So, there we go. Hey, there's some love for you guys. You guys watching the chat room?
Yeah, I'm looking, mate.
All right, cool. Hey, looks like we got a phone call coming in from Canada.
Canadian.
Hey, what's up? You're on the air with Rich and Junior from Excessive. How you doing?
Oh, hi. I have a question. I'm just getting into the paintball.
Okay.
And I just bought a week ago, my Smart Parts Vibe with an Invert 2 reloader.
Okay.
And I'm looking for the cheapest tank and mask that I can get, just so I can start my paintball.
Check. You've been in the TechPB forums, right? Have you seen the online deal hunter?
Yeah.
Okay, there are some tanks in there right now. I think from like over at A&S Gear and on Paintball Gateway, you can get a 68 4500 for like $110.
Okay.
And if you need a cheap mask, okay, a good cheap mask would be this one right here. It's actually one of my wife's favorite masks. It's the V-Force Pro Vantage.
Okay.
And this is basically a baby profiler. It works awesome. And they're only like $30. Make sure you get the Pro Vantage, not the Field Vantage. The Field Vantage, it doesn't have the foam. It's like a scuba mask. Don't get that. Get the Pro Vantage. It's like $30. So between those two, it's probably about $130, and you'll be good to go.
Okay. Yeah, we're just, I'm from St. Albert, Alberta, Canada, and I'm just saying that I love your show, and you're doing great.
Cool, man. We appreciate the phone call.
Okay.
Hey, good job getting into paintball, buddy.
Okay.
Take it easy. So I'm telling you, man. See you guys. You guys gonna help me answer these questions, you know. So cool. Well, it's almost 9 o'clock. We're gonna take one more. Well, actually, you know what I'll do? Let's unbox. While I got you guys on the phone, let's unbox the E-Tech. Let's get to the bottom of this nonsense. Let's see here. I'll do this right here on the show. So you guys better keep typing in excessive rules, excessive rocks. So we're gonna unbox this. This one actually came from Shop for Paintball. They sent me one, which is kind of cool. So, and I think we got
I thought you got 4 or 5 sent to you, Mike. I just thought you had like a lot of them. You get lots of guns each week, don't you?
Well, I've been barking at Jackwood to send me one, and I don't know, he's not responding to my PMs anymore. So
Yeah, I wonder why.
let's see, we got a call coming in from Pennsylvania. You guys answer this question. I'm gonna unbox the E-Tech.
What's the question?
Let's see. Hey, what's up, dude? You're on TechPB Radio with Junior Brown and Rich Telford from Excessive.
Hey, got a quick question. I'm just starting up a 3-man team, and they're trying to get everything together, and yesterday I actually got a offer for another 3-man team that are actually sponsored. Maybe I should stick with my friends before I go with their team.
I'd say stick with your friends.
Alright, and one other question. What's the best gun in the $800 price range with the best packaging?
Junior or Mike are probably better at answering that question than I am.
Well,
Right now, I definitely think what Mike's taking out of the box is definitely a good gun. You don't need to spend that $800. You could buy an E-Tech LT or an E-Tech AM and then spend the rest of the money on paint, and you're going to be well away. Because we all need paintballs, so it's good to sometimes save your money and play more.
that's for sure. Nothing's worse than having a brand new shiny gun with no money or paint to go shoot it. Paintball guns need gun food. That's paintballs. So,
Alright, thanks, man.
all right, cool. Yeah, I got it right here in my hand. Wow, this gun's great. This gun is great. Yeah, this is the AM. So I thought I was getting the LT. This is actually the AM. And wow, this is a really nice. They're doing a good job with this.
Yeah, they're both really nice.
Honestly, in my opinion, it's the only thing that the English do really well.
I'm telling you.
Make
I mean,
paintball guns and tea.
yep. And you've seen Junior's Yorkshire puddings. I mean, they're like little hockey pucks. You know, teach them how to souffle and how to fold properly. So, actually, I've been catching up on my English with having Kitty on board on TechPB. I'm learning more than I've ever wanted. All my daughters watch Paddington Bear. They're totally into it.
Nice.
So
That's good.
Well, cool. So you guys up for taking one more phone call, and I'll let you guys off the hook?
Yeah, keep it going. If anybody's still on, we're on 484 viewers. we need to get this up to 500.
Telling you.
See where we can go.
Maybe if Mike takes his shirt off.
Oh, God, you don't want to see that.
Hey,
See, all that is man?
What you got to do is go onto your Twitter, your MySpace, your Facebook, blast out that they've got to come into TechPB right now, and let's see Mike take his shirt off.
Oh, hell no, you guys don't want to see that. All that is man, right here on the radio. Hey, what's up, man? You're on the radio.
Hey, I was wondering what the best upgrade for my E-Tech 1 would be.
Ooh, E-Tech 1. Original.
Yeah.
What's the, what do you guys think?
Upgrade, what's he looking to upgrade on it?
Just I was wondering what the best things for me to upgrade would be.
Definitely a good barrel kit's always nice to have different barrel backs for your gun so you can size your paint. That's always a good upgrade.
Alright.
Yeah. Custom Products makes a really good barrel. I mean, you can get the Custom Products barrels for like $30, so you can't beat that. I mean, that's a good place to start if you're tight on money. Definitely take a look at the Custom Products. The classic barrels. Those are great barrels. You can get them, $689, $685, or $693 for $30. I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah, and they're good
Right,
barrels.
and,
They've been good barrels forever.
Yeah. So.
What do you think about the SPO gear versus shell?
Unfortunately, I think Ken, when he came out with those a little too late. Had that been back around the same time where the hybrid shells had come out, he'd be onto something. But unfortunately, I think that just that shell came out too late. The rotor came out, the Prophecy came out, the Pinocchio came out. And it definitely works. You know what I mean? It's definitely a really cool shell design, but it's, for right now, I mean, you can get, Halo shells right now for $10 or his for $50. So, I mean, you can get brand new Halos right now for, $65, $70. So, my personal opinion, I mean, if you're a huge fanatic of the Velocity or a huge fanatic of the, huge fanatic of like the Halo, and you want to get probably one of the best shells you can get for it, that's definitely a good one to go with. But it's a big investment, man. $50, you know what I mean? It's a $50 investment for a shell. And, I mean, it's just expensive. That's all I got to say.
I talked to him today, and he said that he was going to lower the price. I don't know when, and he was going to throw in a free tournament adapter for me.
Oh, okay. The little quick feed on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if he drops the price a little bit on it and throws that in for free, definitely pick it up. Maybe you can get it for around $35, then it'd be a good investment. At $50 plus $20 for the tournament adapter, that's a little too expensive for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the Woodland Camel one, that's what I'm looking to get.
Yeah.
It's like $44 right now on the SPO gear, and I checked earlier on Acton Village, and it was already at $44.
Okay.
With a complimentary.
Just tell him that you talked to Mike, and Mike said that he has to give you a better deal, otherwise there'll be trouble.
That's right. Tell him and Ken lives in Miami, so he's only about a 4-hour drive away.
Yeah.
Cool, man. I appreciate the call.
All right, see ya.
All right, take it easy. So, cool. Well, I'll let you guys off the hook. So, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate you guys hopping on the radio with me today.
Anytime, man. We appreciate it.
Awesome. You guys are going to be coming out to Living Legends, or?
Hell yes.
All right, sweet. There's a great picture with me when they gave me the microphone, Rich, with you behind me. I was sitting up there on the stage. I'm like, holy shit, dude, that's Rich Telford right behind me. So.
that's when Mike knew he'd made it. That was it. Yeah, wow. It just shows that he made it.
Yeah, it was something else. I mean, I was like, where's my Sharpie? I need to get all these autographs before all these people disappear.
Yeah.
So, but it's always a pleasure.
That's when the Pinocchio guy did the 45-minute speech, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
I remember that. Yep.
So, I think so.
Thanks a lot for having us on. We appreciate it.
Hey, you guys are always welcome. Anytime you guys want to hop on to TechPB Radio and shoot the shit with us, dude, it's definitely a pleasure to have you guys on.
Hey,
so,
vice versa. Anytime you want us, you let us know. We'll be there.
Awesome. It sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
We'll do it, Mike, definitely. I want to tell me what's your highest viewer count you've ever had?
I think we one time went over 600, but that was when I think Willie was wearing a ghillie suit and we were taking shots, and it was just pure debauchery that night.
Okay, well, we'll plan another visit, maybe after Phoenix or something. After the first event, we'll do a recap, and I'll give some stuff away. Maybe a few Phoenix jerseys. How's that?
Oh, that sounds good to me. We love freebies on this show. I got to give away some of these cool shirts and these GAT wraps and this little headband I'm wearing right here. I'm gonna give all this away tonight.
Yeah, you should. Everybody should check out Understood's clothing line. It's a fantastic clothing line.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, gentlemen. Well, you guys have a good evening. Once again, thanks for hopping on TechPB Radio.
Thank you, buddy.
All right,
Thanks,
hey, you guys stay right there. Hold on for 1 second.
Yep.
Yeah.